In the name of Almighty, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Welcome to our class. This is Abdul Qadir, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Sadaqatul Apa College. In today's class, we are going to discuss about some topics that are basically the concepts of accounting that should be known before learning the accounting. Okay. So the first one which is on the limitations of accounting. In the yesterday's class we learned about the advantages of accounting. Okay. Today limitations of accounting, that is the disadvantages of accounting. So here we pointed out the first limitation. It ignores transactions which cannot be expressed in terms of money. It cannot measure the qualitative aspects of the products, policies, management and the workers. It cannot quantify the morale of employees in the organization. That is, in simple terms, in accounting we are going to record only the business transactions. Okay, that is in terms of monetary. What is the meaning of monetary? Okay, that is, in accounting we are going to record only the monetary transaction, that is the quantitative aspect. We are not going to record any other transaction, that is how many numbers of quantities we bought, of products we bought, how many units or how many liters or how many kilograms or how much tons we bought of raw materials. So these are not going to be recorded in the accounting process. So in the accounting we are going to record only the monetary aspect, either in Indian national rupee or we are going to record in US dollars or any other currencies in where the business situated. That is only the first point signifies that the aspects of the products, that is the quality of the products or policies of the management and the workers, that is it cannot quantify the morale of the employees in the organization. அப்படின்னா என்ன சொல்கிறாங்க, ஹியூமன் ரிசோர்ஸ், அதாவது நம்ம எம்ப்ளாயீஸுடைய குவாலிட்டேட்டிவ் ஆஸ்பெக்டெல்லாம் நம்ம வந்து அக்கௌண்ட்ஸில் வந்து நம்ம ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ண முடியாது அப்படிங்கிறது தான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு பாயிண்டில் பார்க்குறோம். Then in the second point, accounting results may not be accurate and reliable due to some estimates and subjective influence of individual accountants. Okay, அப்போ அக்கௌண்டிங்கில் என்ன சொல்கிறாங்க, அக்கௌண்ட்டுடைய ரிசல்ட்ஸ் மே நாட் பி அக்யூரேட்டுங்கிறாங்க. அது வந்து அக்யூரேட்டான ஃபிகர்ஸில் வந்து நமக்கு வந்து தர்றதுக்கு உண்டான வாய்ப்புகள் வந்து குறைவுங்கிறாங்க. அதே நேரத்தில் அண்டு நாட் ரிலையபிள் டியூ டு சம் எஸ்டிமேட்ஸ் அண்ட் சப்ஜெக்டிவ் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் ஆஃப் இண்டிவிஜுவல் அக்கௌண்டன்ட்ஸ். அப்போ எஸ்டிமேட்ஸ்லேயும் வந்து சில சேஞ்சஸ் ஏற்படலாம், இல்லை சில ட்ராபேக்ஸ் வந்து ஏற்படுறதுக்கு உண்டான வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்குது. ஓகே, ஸோ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், த லைஃப் ஆஃப் த மிஷினரி இஸ் ப்ரெடிக்டட் பை த அக்கௌண்டன்ட் இட் செல்ஃப். அக்கௌண்டன்ட் என்ன பண்ணுவார், அவர் அட் த டைம் ஆஃப் ப்ரிப்பேரிங் த அக்கௌண்டிங், at the time of preparing the financial account, they will adjust the transactions according to the needs of the organization or according to the tax reforms or according to the tax benefit of the organization or according to the policy of the organization in order to reduce the tax or reduce the unwanted expenditures. So in those way only they are going to fix or they may adjust the transactions or they may adjust the expectations of some things like some estimates like depreciation or value of the asset or value of stock or provision on doubtful debts. So these things are considered to be the limitation of accounting in the second point. Next, we move on to the third point. Accountants rely on historical cost for recording the fixed assets and its depreciation. Accounting ignores the price level changes which drastically alter the values of assets and liabilities. Inflation, which is an universal phenomenon, makes the profit ascertained and financial position shown by accounting unrealistic and unreliable. ஸோ இந்த பாயிண்டில் என்ன சொல்கிறாங்கன்னா, அதாவது அக்கௌண்டிங் ரெக்கார்ட்ஸுங்கிறது என்ன, இட் இஸ் த பாஸ்ட் ரெக்கார்ட், இட் இஸ் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் த ஹிஸ்டாரிக்கல் காஸ்ட். நமக்கு வந்து போன மந்தில் என்ன எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சர் ஏற்பட்டது, போன மந்தில் என்ன இன்கம் வந்தது, அதே நேரத்தில் போன மந்தில் அசட்டுடைய வேல்யூ என்ன, அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணோம் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணுறோமே தவிர இட் இஸ் நாட் த ப்ரெசன்ட் ஒன். இது வந்து பாஸ்ட் ரெக்கார்டை தான் நம்ம ஹிஸ்டாரிக்கல் பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் இங்கே வந்து நம்ம ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணுறோமே தவிர இது வந்து கரண்ட் லெவலில் இருக்கக்கூடிய சேஞ்சஸ் கிடையாது. பட் we know that that is the inflation. Inflation is the universal phenomenon. நம்ம ஒரு ஸ்டாக் வந்து நம்ம இன்றைக்கி பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணுவோம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் we take the crude oil or petroleum. When we are buying the petroleum at once, the prices of the petroleum changes for every fortnight, okay, or day by day. Before இதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்து ஒரு 2 வாரத்துக்கு ஒரு தடவை வந்து சேஞ்சஸ் ஆகிட்டு இருந்துச்சு ப்ரைஸு. இன்றைக்கி என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, டெய்லி சேஞ்சஸ் வந்து ஏற்படுத்திகிட்ருக்கு. ஓகே, ஸோ இது மாதிரி ஸ்டாக்குடைய இது வந்து என்னவாகும், ஃப்ளக்சுவேட் ஆகிட்டே இருக்கும். ப்ரைஸ் லெவல் வந்து சேஞ்சஸ் ஆகிட்டே இருக்கும். ஓகே, ப்ரைஸ் லெவல் சேஞ்ச் ஆக அப்போ அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி நம்ம வந்து கரெக்டான எக்ஸாக்ட் வேல்யூ ஆஃப் த ஸ்டாக்கை வந்து நம்ம என்ன பண்ண முடியாது, ப்ரிடிக்ட் பண்ண முடியாது. ஓகே, ஸோ இது மாதிரி சில லிமிட்டேஷன் இருக்கிறனால அந்த அக்யூரசி லெவல் வந்து என்னவாகுது, ரெடியூஸ் ஆகுது. ஓகே, அப்போது நம்ம அக்கௌண்டிங் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் நம்ம ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ணும்போது it will reduce the accuracy level of the figures. Okay, so these are the major 3 limitations that are faced by accounting. And the next one is not the limitation. In conclude, recent developments like human resource accounting, that is the latest concept, inflation accounting, then international accounting standards, etc., have been aimed to overcome those limitations. ஸோ இது மாதிரி அக்கௌண்டிங்கில் என்னென்ன லிமிட்டேஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்குதோ இதையெல்லாம் ஓவர் கம் பண்ணுறதுக்காக என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, தட் இஸ் த இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ஸ், அக்கௌண்டிங் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ஸ் இருக்குது. அட் த சேம் டைம் இன் அவர் இந்தியா வி ஆர் ஹேவிங் த சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட் இஸ் ஹேவிங் த அக்கௌண்டிங் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ஸ் போர்ட். ஓகே, ஸோ தே ஆர் working hard to overcome those limitations. Okay, so these are the major 3 limitations that are faced by the accounting. Next one, we move on to the topic groups interested in accounting. Next, groups interested in accounting information are classified into 2: internal users and external users. Who are the internal users? That is within the organization. External users means outside the organization. So internal users may be the owners, then management and employees of the organization. External users may be the creditors and financiers, potential investors, consumers, tax authorities, government and research scholars. Okay, first we look on the owners. I'm not going to present in detail. So this is the chart I represent, and we need to introduce briefly for the time constraint. Okay, so first one is the owners. So either the owners may be the sole trader or the partners or shareholders who have provided the capital of a business unit or interested in knowing its performance. So the owners may be the shareholders, partners or the sole proprietors, sole traders. Say they want to know the performance of the business, how the business has been established, how they have performed, either the results of the business are profit or loss. So they are very much interested because they only invested their capital. So they are the primary party in knowing the accounting information. So the next thing is the management. Okay, management means, for example, in case of sole trading concern or in case of partnership firm, that is the owners, they themselves involved in the business and they can be known the accounting information by nature. Okay, but in case of, that is the company form of organization, joint stock companies, that is the owners, that is the shareholders or the separate one, and the management or the separate one. Okay, so the management people, that is the board of directors, or they are the policy makers, they are the decision making bodies. So they need to know the accounting information in order to take the long-term policies of the organization and the short-term policies of the organization, or they need to know the accounting information to take the day-to-day day-to-day decisions. Okay, so accounting information is very very essential for the management people. And the next thing is the employees of the organization. The employees of the organization means in some cases, in some companies, the employees may also be the shareholders of the organization, or they may have given the right to right to know the informations of the organization. For example, if they are having some trade unions, the trade unions are allowed to access the information of the accounting information in the company. Okay, so employees are also the parties within the organization that they need the accounting information in order to know the performance of their company and the performance of their employees. Okay, and the next thing is the external users, that is outside the organization. The first parties are creditors and the financiers. So the creditors are the person who lend the money to the company or to the business. Okay, the creditors may be the banks, may be nationalized or private banks, or they may be the commercial or some types of banks, or it may be the private financial institutions or private financiers. Okay, or so these are the sources of funds. So how they will provide loan to the business means it is based on the performance of the company. How the performance of the company can be ascertained? So only through providing the accounting information. So the accounting information represents the results of the business, that is either they are earning profit or loss of the business, or to know the financial position of the business, that is liabilities and assets. Okay, so in order to know the financial position of the business, they need to show off the accounting information. So the creditors and the financiers are the primary party outside the organization who are interested to know the accounting information before providing the loan to such organization. Then the next one is potential investors. Okay, next thing is the research scholars. So research scholars are the persons who are seeking the accounting information in order to analyze the financial performance of a particular business concern, or they may establish a comparison between the companies or the performance of the industries. So they seek the accounting information in order to give out the results of the industry or the performance of the industry or performance of a particular company, or what are the suggestions and the conclusions can be given or offered to the companies in order to establish the better financial performance in a company. Okay, so so the research scholars may be from the postgraduate, that is the Master of Commerce, or they may be from the philosophy of doctorate. Okay, that is the PhD student may require the accounting information. So in case of accounting information, we can obtain the accounting information of the public limited companies from the internet sources. Okay, the websites, or from the annual reports of the companies. That is in case of smaller firms that are private limited company, it is very difficult to get the obtain the accounting information of those particular companies. Okay, so these are the groups interested in accounting information. On the next topic is branches of accounting. That is the branches of accounting has been discussed in the previous class in short. Okay, accounting branches are classified into three, that is the financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting. So we need to look into this briefly. That is the financial accounting. What is the meaning of financial accounting? It is the preparation of financial statements. Financial statements are the preparation of trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. And the next thing is cost accounting. What is the meaning of cost accounting means? That is it is an accounting. It is the recording of the cost incurred for producing a single unit of product or the group of products or for the entire production. So the cost accounting is useful to find out how much the cost has been incurred for producing a single product, and what is the break even we can attain the break even, or how much the profit can be established for producing each and every product. So those related to the cost structures are prepared comes under the category of the cost accounting. And the next thing is management accounting. So management accounting is accounting for management. So this management accounting helps in taking decisions by the management. Okay, that is the management accounting means that is the providing of accounting information to the management in such a way to assist the decision making process. Okay, so these are the brief introduction to the branches of accounting: financial cost accounting and management accounting. One thing we need to keep in mind is that is financial accounting is mandatory, it is compulsory for every firm. But in case of cost accounting and management accounting, it is not compulsory. And the next thing is methods of accounting. So the methods of accounting are very familiar, that is we learnt already in the school education. There are two systems of accounting, that is the single entry system of book accounting and double entry system. What is the meaning of single entry and double entry? Single entry, the first point it denotes, this method do not conform to strict principles of double entry. So in case of double entry, there are various procedures and principles, concept and conventions must be followed in preparing the accounting. So, but in case of single entry, no such formalities, procedures or principles are followed. The second thing is only the personal accounts of the debtors and creditors and cash book of the traders are maintained. So the personal accounts of the debtors and the creditors, so those persons who are buying the goods from us, and the suppliers names. Okay, so those persons name only maintained under the books, and the cash book of the trader are maintained. So these things are only maintained under the single entry system. They are not going to record any nominal or real accounts. Here only personal accounts are maintained and the cash book are maintained. Okay. And the next thing is preparation of trading, profit and loss account, and balance sheet is not possible without nominal and real accounts. In single entry, we are not going to maintain the nominal and real accounts. Hence, the preparation of trading, profit and loss account and balance sheet is not going to be easy task. Okay. And the fourth one is it is inaccurate, unscientific and not reliable in nature. Single entry is inaccurate. So inaccurate means they record the information approximate figure. The results of the business are not in accurate manner or not in accurate figures. And unscientific means, so when we are following the certain principles, when we are following the universally accepted truth, that is called as science. Okay, so we can call that is accounting as art and science. It is an art and science also. So why we are calling as science means it is the universally accepted truth. Okay, so these principles were universally accepted by every nations across the countries. They are following the same principles. In Germany we are following the same debit and credit. In US we are following the same debit and credit. When we take Australia, they are also following the same debit and credit. So they are universally accepted truth. Okay, so only we are calling as scientific. So but in case of single entry, it is unscientific and not reliable. So the accounting information provided under single entry system is not reliable because it doesn't follow any rules and regulation or procedures or principles. And the next thing is double entry system. So double entry system was invented by an Italian named Luca Pacioli, is 14 in the year 1494. Okay, 1494 AD. So he is known as the father of accounting. He is known as the father of accounting. Who is the father of accounting? Luca Pacioli is the father of accounting. He invented these principles. Immediately after finding out these principles, so this system was adopted across the region, across the continents. So as like as Arabic numerals were spread over across the countries. Okay, so this system was quickly adopted by the countries across the region. Okay. The second point is each and every business transaction has two aspects, namely incoming aspect and outgoing aspect. In other words, it may be debit aspect and credit aspect. So that is the each and every business transaction has two aspects in under double entry system of bookkeeping. For every business transaction, we are going to have two aspects. One may be the incoming aspect and another may be the outgoing aspect. Otherwise, we can call it as the debit aspect and credit aspect. So, and another principle of second entry, that is the double entry system, is for every debit there must be a corresponding and equal credit, and for every credit there must be a corresponding and equal debit. It is the primary principle of double entry system. And finally, it is scientific because it follows the truth, that is the universally accepted truth, and the figures in the double entry system are accurate. They are producing in accurate way, and they are also reliable in nature. Reliable means we can rely on those figures. We can நம்ம நம்பலாம், தைரியமாக நம்பலாம். காரணம் என்னென்னா அங்கே வந்து ப்ராப்பர் ப்ரொசீஜர்ஸை ஃபாலோ பண்ணி அக்கௌண்டிங் இன்ஃபர்மேஷனை வந்து ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ தே ஆர் scientific, accurate and reliable. And finally, advantages of double entry system. Advantages of double entry system. The first advantage is complete record. Under double entry system, it enables the businessman to keep a complete, systematic and accurate record of all business transactions. Details of any transactions or events can be verified at any time is the utmost benefit of double entry system. So under double entry system, under the present accounting method, we can maintain a proper record, complete record, systematic record, scientific record. Okay, and those record can be kept saved and can be verified at any time when the authorities come to verify those, or when the auditor wants to look into it. Okay, so this is the first benefit. Second one is the ascertainment of profit or loss. Ascertainment of profit or loss means the calculation of profit or loss. So the systematic record maintained under double entry system enables a businessman to ascertain the results of the business operations for any given period. So under our present accounting system, we can find out the profit or losses of the business or results of the business at whenever we need it. Okay, at whenever we need, at any given time we can find out the profits or results of the business in between those periods. For example, we can find out the profits or losses for every academic year, or for every quarterly, or for every month, or for every weeks. We can find out the profit or loss of the business. Even for every transaction we can know the find out the profit or losses of the business. Okay, so it is the second advantage. Third one is knowledge of financial position. So keep in mind there is knowledge of financial position. That is, the knowledge of financial position means under the present accounting method we can know the financial position of the business very easily by preparing the balance sheet. So the assets and the liabilities of the company represents the financial position of the business. So it is also a benefit for the under double entry system. And the next thing is a check on the accuracy of accounts. A check on the accuracy of accounts. Under double entry system, every debit has, as we studied, that every debit has a corresponding credit, and every credit has corresponding debit. So the arithmetical accuracy of the books can be tested by preparing a statement called trial balance. So as we know that the preparation of trial balance enables to verify the accuracy, okay, accuracy level of the accounts. So in case of any misrepresentation of numbers, or we written any with any mistakes, means it can be easily rectified by preparing the trial balance. So trial balance helps us to check the accuracy of accounts. So that is trial balance, preparation of trial balance also comes under the category of double entry system. And the next thing is no scope for fraud. It can be accepted to some extent only, because we in the present day we can find, so there are so many malpractices in the accounting information. They can manipulate the data, they can manipulate the accounting information. So it can be possible, but some extent, but it can be revealed if the auditors are truth to their if they are very honest, means they can easily find out or detect the frauds that are happened in the business. Okay, so no scope for fraud. The firm is saved from the fraud and the misappropriation, since full information about all assets and liabilities will be available. Next one is recognition by the tax authorities. So single entry system are not recognized by the tax authorities or any government bodies, but only the double entry system are universally accepted. That is, double entry system is the generally accepted accounting principles. Okay, so that is called as GAAP. So tax authorities recognize the double entry system only and not the single entry system. So the businessman can satisfy the tax authorities if they maintain his accounts properly under the double entry system only. And the next one is the amount due from the customers and the amount due to the suppliers, any particular suppliers, any particular customers. So it can be easily find out under the double entry system. It is the major benefit. Okay, and finally the comparative study. Results of 1 year may be compared with those of the previous years, and reasons for the change may be ascertained. Okay, so the comparative study can be obtained under the double entry system when we are having the accounting information for a particular period. Means we can compare those accounting information, we can compare those net profit or losses or the value of the assets and the liabilities with the previous year, or with the subsequent years, or we can compare for entire previous 5 years. Okay, so in order to know the performance of the business taking. Okay, so okay, that's all. In the next class we can discuss the remaining. Thank you.